judges, and to my fellow debaters. Today we continue to tackle an issue of a paramount importance that affects nearly half of the global population, which is the menstrual health in the workplace. We all know for a fact that menstruation is a natural biological process and should never stand in the way of individuals fully engaging in their professional lives. It is high time that we recognize the hurdles faced by menstruation employees and take decisive action to alleviate them. The implementation of paid menstrual leave policies in the workplace is a highly practical solution that yields substantial benefits for both employees and employers. Now let's delve into the practicality of paid menstrual leave in greater depth. First and foremost, paid menstrual leave significantly enhances physical and mental well-being. Severe menstrual symptoms can severely hinder an individual's ability to perform effectively at work. By granting employees time off to recuperate, we can alleviate their pain and discomfort, enabling them to return to work re-energized and more productive. This in turn benefits employers by ensuring peak performance and reducing absenteeism related to menstrual issues. And according to a growing study of evidence supports the practicality and the benefits of paid menstrual leave. For instance, a 2021 study by the Philippines Institute for Development Studies, or PIDS, found that paid menstrual leave positively impacts employee productivity and retention. It estimated that the cost to businesses would be modest compared to the benefits of enhanced productivity and reduced absenteeism, in which the second speaker talks about the non-beneficiality of the paid menstrual leave to the economic stability. You did not actually give me legal basis or economic statistical or empirical or primary sources of data in order to justify your claim. So that means to say there's a lack of veracity. And additionally, a 2021 review by the UP Population Institute highlights various advantages for both employees and employers, such as improved health, reduced absenteeism, and increased productivity. Secondly, paid menstrual leave plays a pivotal role in destigmatizing menstruation in the workplace. By openly acknowledging and accommodating the challenges faced by menstruating individuals, we foster a more inclusive and supportive work environment. Breaking the cultural taboo surrounding menstruation, surrounding menstruation opens the door to discussions, education, and empathy. This benefits not only employees, but it also cultivates a positive company culture that values diversity and champions gender equity. A 2021 global review by the Global Health Research Center underscores that paid menstrual leave is already a reality in several countries, as was stated by our second speaker, our beneficiality speaker. This review indicates that paid menstrual leave has yielded three favorable outcomes: improving employee productivity, reducing absenteeism, and enhancing overall well-being. And the second speaker stated that she compares Philippines to these countries like Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, and Indonesia. It's because of our current status of economic stability. What is the correlation of the economic stability when it comes to prioritizing the menstrual leave act? I don't see the relevance between the essence of protecting health or prioritizing this bill versus the economic stability. So no. So let's continue. Moreover, paid menstrual leave is a potent tool for retaining and attracting top talent. Organizations that prioritize their employees' well-being, including their reproductive health, tend to enjoy a favorable reputation. By implementing menstrual leave policies, companies showcase their commitment to work-life balance and employee satisfaction. This, in turn, bolsters their ability to recruit and retain highly skilled individuals, ultimately bolstering their bottom line. And according to a study conducted last 2022 by the World Bank, it underscores various economic benefits of paid menstrual leave, including increased female labor force participation, reduced absenteeism, and enhanced productivity. The study estimates that the global cost of paid menstrual leave is relatively modest when compared to the economic benefits it delivers. Addressing potential risks associated with menstrual leave is a pivotal for successful implementation. Ensuring that policies do not perpetuate sexism, reinforce menstrual stigma, or exacerbate gender discrimination is essential in striking the right balance between accommodating individuals' needs and maintaining a fair and equitable workplace. Education, awareness, and thoughtful policy design are undeniably pivotal in mitigating these risks and nurturing a supportive environment for all employees. Therefore, the Menstruation Leave Act introduced by the former Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago.
Thank you so much, Mr. Affirmative Speaker.
That will be all.
5 minutes.
Third Affirmative Speaker, please drop that and affirmative.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon.
Hi.
What you said earlier about, you mentioned that you cannot understand the connection between the imposition of this, the second speaker's comparison of our economy to the other first world countries.
I understand. That's why I said it's
No. Yeah, please answer what you're saying. You understand it? Then why did you put forth that argument if you didn't so understand it?
I actually
All right, next
understand it.
question.
This is
So,
just
this
irrelevant
means
to
that,
where economics
please
are becoming
get into my
public.
next question.
Okay. Please
Now,
repeat the question.
just to let you know, no, you already answered it. All right, so I'm going to my next question. Just to let you know about the connection between that. Employers pay taxes to our government, right? Government then make use of these taxes. Therefore, the economic connection to the economic connection to that is that if we put financial burden to our employers, which are utilized by our government, then it does connect to our economic to economics. So I'm just establishing the economic connection.
Do you have any legal basis?
And then I'm sorry, I'm asking the questions, madam, not you. All
It's not a
right.
justification.
Now next one. You said that you said that you value well-being of the women. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. There you go. So if well-being is very important to you, then why leave them alone, suffering from menstruation by keeping them out of the workplace, suffering alone, instead of solving the underlying issues of why they experience such severe symptoms, considering that according to the Royal College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, only 10% of women experience severe symptoms and are caused by underlying issues. So if you are really, pro for the well-being of women, then isn't it better to solve the underlying issues rather than provide them with a band-aid solution of keeping them out of it?
You really think it's a bad
It's a yes or no question, madam. Do you believe it?
No. It should be.
All right. So
there's a
next question
should be
then.
enough
I'm
funds.
speaking, madam. You mentioned the stigma as well. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. So since you already mentioned you already mentioned stigma, but you failed.
Thank you so much. Third Affirmative Speaker, please deliver your contract station status.
Again, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, Your Honors. I would like to point out, and I would like to rebut the opposing side's arguments, including first with the stigma that they pointed out, which they failed to provide evidence. So I'd just like to point that out. Second, they are emphasizing gender equity. If you want equity rather than equality, then would it be better to solve the root cause of the issue, considering that only 10% of menstruating women feel severe symptoms because of underlying issues? Now, I just want to point that out. Now, onto my constructed speech. The first and second speakers from this House have destabilized the arguments of the affirmative, showing that the cases and points of the other House are flimsy and will not stand in practice. I will throw 3 obstacles into the affirmative's arguments to display that the foundation of the stance they are claiming is built only on twigs and branches, because at the end of the day, it is not practical to execute such policy. Here are my contentions. Number 1, the economic implications of such policy. 2, legal discrepancies surrounding such policy. And 3, why menstrual leave is not the best option. Let me explain the economic implications. If imposed, menstrual leave for female employees will only do harm to the economy than good. As presented by the first affirmative speaker, there are numerous paid days that are already provided to female employees. According to Article 95 of the Labor Code of the Philippines, employers are already mandated to provide service incentive leaves at the expense of the employers. And this policy would add, at the very least, 2 more days off per month to female employees. That's a total of 24 days per year per female employee. To add more financial burden to our employers, not only in the private sector, but also in the government, could lead to economic issues. Because at the end of the day, it is the employer's duty to provide the funding regardless if they lack the financial resources. Not to mention the actual days that female employees will not be present in the workplace. Based on trading economics data, the female percentage of primary education teachers is at a whopping 87.42% in 2020, and the number keeps on going. This means that for every 10,000 primary teachers, 8,742 of them are females. If the majority of our female teachers decide to take menstrual leave days, that means at least 24 more days not being in the classroom to teach our younger generations for the posterity of our nation. Second point, the legal discrepancy surrounding this policy. According to both RA 6725 and RA 9710, or the Magna Carta for Women, discrimination against women, especially in the workplace, is unconstitutional. This Republic Act destroys the affirmative's motion because imposition of menstrual leave is actually discriminatory for women. This policy encourages women to stay away from the workplace just because they are undergoing a natural process as part of being a woman. Imagine having your menstruation, and for the men, just imagine the difficult process. And your employer tells you to go home. It encourages the removal of menstruation in the workplace, and in extension, the removal of women from the public realm by hiding it at home. Imposing this policy reinforces sexist beliefs that make it seem like all women are biologically inferior. This is a major contributing factor in gender discrimination, especially in the workplace, since these ideas are used to undermine the value, contribution, and leadership potential of women. And for my final point, ladies and gentlemen, according to the University of Aberdeen, the 9% of people who menstruate and do not regularly experience severe symptoms do not need to take a whole day off work during their periods. Meanwhile, according to the Royal College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, the minority who do regularly experience severe symptoms almost always have an underlying health issue, such as polycystic ovary syndrome, depression, autoimmune disorders, and such. Encouraging people to cope with severe symptoms alone at home every month is not effective or a humane solution. We should focus more on the diagnosis and treatment of these illnesses, such as the expansion of coverage by PhilHealth. Is that how offensively little we think of our female workforce? That when posed with such important matter, all we can do is offer them a band-aid solution of keeping them out of the workplace without even tackling the root cause of their issue. Why not focus more on their health? Why not give them a better policy other than letting them suffer at home, alone? As a final note, ladies and gentlemen, these alternative recommendations make a positive difference in the lives of millions of female workers without unintentionally worsening the economy, gender discrimination, and values. And that is why this House is strongly against the imposition of menstrual leave for female employees. Thank you.
Speaker spoke for 4 minutes and 47 seconds.
Thank you so much, third negative speaker, 34-minute speaker, Prabhat.
Hello, Mr. Speaker. Are you ready to bring this one question? Are you ready for the question? Just answer yes or no. Do you believe that menstrual cycles are not a valid reason for female employees to take paid time off from work? Yes or no?
No.
No. If no, then you are discrediting medical records and the evidence of PMDD which lead to depression. Now proceed to the next question. Do you think that providing paid menstruation leave would be unfair to male employees or create an unequal advantage for female employees?
No.
Yes or no?
No.
Really? I'm going to repeat the question. Do you think that providing paid menstrual leave would be unfair to male employees or create an unequal advantage for female employees?
No, it's not, because according to our
Okay,
Constitution, there are
first answer.
equality
Do you
between
believe
men
that
and women.
menstrual
but it is-
do you believe that menstrual pain and related symptoms are not a significant enough issue to warrant paid time off for female employees? Yes or no?
No, it warrants.
No, okay. No, I assume that you're not aware that menstrual irregularities occur in an estimated 14% to 25% of women of childbearing age. Estimate of the number of women with menstrual irregularities may differ by the cause or nature of the irregularity, and also dysmenorrhea is a common problem experienced by around 50 to 90% of women in the reproductive years worldwide. Now on to my next question. Do you believe that paid menstrual leave could have a significant impact on the economy?
Yes.
Do you believe that paid menstrual leave could have a significant impact on our economy? Yes. Thank you so much for siding with us, Mr. Speaker. As you
Exactly,
said.
madam. So
Yeah, thank you so much for siding with us.
There's a significant impact.
Yes, the paid menstruation
In
leave.
economic, I'm not saying
Well, thank you so
there is a
much for
negative
siding with
impact.
us.
I'm not saying it's negative or positive, but there
Paid
is a
menstrual
significant
leave
impact.
indeed a significant in our economy. Thank you so much for siding with us. Thank you so much.